It's just been an absolutely tragic incident. There is one miracle, one survivor of the 242 people who were aboard AI-171 bound for London Gatwick. Unfortunately, however, the fatalities are now also extending to those who were located in the BJ Medical College hostel. The Vice President of All India Medical Association confirming that people here had lost their lives. The sole survivor of the flight, at least, was a British national of Indian origin and is considered a miracle, given that the 241 other crew and passengers did not make it, given the severity of the incident. Speaking to the Hindustan Times, the passenger said that a loud noise was heard after the plane departed and it crashed, adding that it all happened so quickly. Additionally, police said that the only known survivor was sitting near an emergency exit of the jet bound for London, and as a result was able to leap from the plane. Various diplomats have visited the hospital where the sole survivor is located and are in touch with the relevant family members who have been affected by the horrific events that occurred on the 12th of June. As with anything, a lot of focus will immediately shift to the airline and the aircraft manufacturer, and in this case that aircraft manufacturer is Boeing.
An Indian flight from Ahmedabad to London was carrying 242 people, 230 passengers and 12 crew members. All but one incredibly lucky survivor was killed. He was sitting in seat 11 next to an emergency exit. He reportedly pushed open the damaged emergency door after the crash. Mysteriously, he walked out of the plane without any serious injuries. Let's look at the various scenarios of how the crash could have occurred. Was it a failure of both engines? Were the flaps retracted or not? All the analyses are in the video below. Here's the detailed timeline. Flight 39 to 171 took off from runway 23 at Sardar Vallabh Rai Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad. The weather conditions were stable, with clear skies and good visibility, ideal for the flight. Moments after takeoff, the aircraft climbed to an altitude of approximately 191 meters.
With the investigation teams only just reaching the site and the unfortunate reality that bodies are still being pulled from the wreckage, it remains too early to find a definitive cause. Several industry analysts, however, have not used this to stop them weighing in with their own opinions, where if you're purely sticking to the facts and what is clearly apparent is that videos show the aircraft completing what is a regular takeoff roll. However, its climb out is what appears to be affected. The Air India jet, which in standard procedures is meant to continue climbing, retract its gear as it departs for London Gatwick, it did not do any of this. Shortly after departing the airport, you can see the jet leveled out at an altitude that was way too low and then began to descend very slowly before crashing. These comments are with thanks to the CEO of AirSafe, Todd Curtis, other industry analysts, and honestly just a general observation of the video. I'm not going to sit here and claim I know what happened, and that is the job for investigative teams to comb through the evidence, recordings, and more, and from there we can get to the bottom of why this tragic incident unfolded. I hope you're all doing well, sending out my thoughts to all those affected. Please take care.
On a quiet summer morning in Ahmedabad, Flight AI-171 prepared for takeoff, unaware of the fate awaiting it. At 6:07 a.m., the Dreamliner roared down the runway, lifting gently into the sky. But something was already wrong. In just 30 seconds, the aircraft began an erratic climb. Moments later it dropped. With no time to recover, Flight 171 slammed into a hostel building, exploding into fire and steel. Amid the wreckage, only one voice remained a miracle in seat 11A. Emergency responders rushed in, firefighters, police, volunteers facing an inferno to save lives. The black box was recovered. The truth now lies within metal and memory. India stood still. A nation mourned as families searched for names on long list, hoping, praying. From India to the UK, From Canada to Portugal, the world joined hands in grief and silence. They boarded with dreams. They soared with hope. We remember Flight 171 not for how it ended, but for every life it carried.
Updates will be shared as we receive more verified information. An emergency centre has been activated and support team has been set up for families seeking information. We'll be sure to put out a follow-up video as more details come to light. Our thoughts go out to the victims and their families. Further information. More details are expected to emerge regarding this tragic incident. Stay tuned for updates. Another example of a 787 coming in at a Boeing test facility. And listen as it flies by, you'll hear it nice and crisp and clear too. It almost sounds like a drone. Firefighters were putting out flames in streets littered with charred debris. Cars burnt out near to where the plane came down. The Chief Minister of Gujarat has told rescue teams to be on a warpath, emphasizing the gravity and tragedy of this situation. The Air India plane was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, and this is the first time that particular aircraft has crashed. The investigation of the Air India Flight 171 plane crash turned up new evidence raising controversial questions. Did mysterious debris fall off the plane just as it was crashing? Did the pilots have the wing flaps incorrectly set prior to takeoff? Did the pilots incorrectly retract the wing flaps instead of the landing gear after takeoff? Look at the flaps. After it takes off, you have a hard time even seeing where they are. They're right there, but you have a hard time seeing that they're extended or retracted. You just really can't tell at this point. And this is a crystal clear video shot from across the runway. The impact has raised grave concerns over casualties both on board and on the ground. The aircraft was carrying 242 people, 230 passengers, and 12 crew members. The flight was commanded by Captain Sumit Sabharwal, a highly experienced pilot with over 8,200 flight hours, accompanied by First Officer Clive Kundar, who had logged around 1,100 hours. Despite their combined experience, a tragedy could not be averted. Moments after takeoff, the crew issued a distress Mayday call, indicating a critical emergency. However, no further communication followed, and the crash occurred shortly afterward. Emergency response was immediate. Firefighters and ambulances arrived quickly, battling the flames and working to reach potential survivors. The crash site has been cordoned off as rescue and recovery operations continue through the evening. At the government level, swift action has been taken. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Yadav expressed deep sorrow and instructed the creation of a green corridor to expedite medical aid. The full-scale investigation, and Air India has initiated its internal probe. Experts are on the ground collecting data, examining wreckage, and trying to determine the cause. This devastating incident marks what is believed to be the first fatal crash involving a Boeing 787 Dreamliner since its introduction in 2011.
नहीं सर्वर आप दूसरे लोग से धर्मेश जी को फोन कीजिए, राहुल को फोन करिए, दोनों में देखिए।
While the aircraft has generally maintained an excellent safety record, this crash will undoubtedly bring renewed scrutiny, especially given past concerns about its manufacturing and design, including whistleblower claims of possible shortcuts in production. As of now, no official figures have been released regarding fatalities or survivors. Given the scale of the crash and the aircraft's capacity, fears of a high death toll remain. Authorities urge the public to avoid speculation until verified information becomes available. This is a developing story. With a range of around 7,305 nautical miles or 18,530 kilometers. One of its key innovations is the use of composite materials. About 50% of the plane's structure, including the fuselage and wings, is made from these.
सवारी को क्यों થઈ ગઈ પૂરે ગયો
This makes it lighter than planes made with aluminum and improves fuel efficiency. Instead of using multiple aluminum sheets, the fuselage is built using single-piece composite barrel sections.
Thank you for watching. We hope for the safety of all passengers and crew on board the flight. Please stay tuned for updates on this incident. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support means a lot to us. Stay safe and take care.